So, you want to be a real estate investor, but where do you start? How do you know what information and sources to trust? That's where I come in. I'm Jonny Cattani, and this is the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. Hey guys, real quick, before we start, go to investwithcattani.com and download my free ebook, Is Commercial Real Estate Recession Proof? Now to today's show. What is going on, guys? Happy Friday, TGIF. Welcome to the Friday follow-up here on the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. I am your gracious host, Jonny Cattani, and we made it. The end of another week. Man, I don't know what it is. I don't know if you guys are feeling this too, but it seems like these weeks are a little bit longer and longer than previously. You know, whether you believe in the stars and the planets and all that stuff, like I do, astrology as they call it. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. You know, some things are out of whack, and by no means am I blaming that. You know, certainly there's something to be said about all that energy, but ultimately, you know, it's on us to handle it and be adults about it. And certainly that's what we're doing. But I'll tell you, they feel long. They feel a little long. But we made it to Friday. Hopefully you guys have plans. You know, this was even a short week and it still felt long. You know, we had Monday off because of Memorial Day. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend and have another great weekend planned. It rained all weekend here on Memorial Day, and we need it very badly. In fact, we got 1.5 feet of snow in the mountains. We're in a heavy drought. I know we're in a heavy drought all over. But anyway, we're back again. It's Friday. We're very excited. Today, I want to talk about something that I had an awesome conversation with my friends about, just about how what I like to call choose your hard, right? So life is hard as we know it. We all have our challenges, and, you know, entrepreneurs certainly have different challenges perhaps than someone who has a 9-to-5. But the ultimate point is that it's all hard, right? A 9-to-5 is hard. It's hard to move up the corporate ladder. You know, you're working for someone else, and certainly having some structure and potentially your job defined, so to speak, eases potentially some concerns we might have as humans in terms of what we're supposed to be doing. But it's still hard, right? Again, you work for someone, maybe you don't get along with them or agree with them, and it makes it challenging, you know. And then you have entrepreneurship, which, you know, you're your own boss, so to speak, but by no means is it defined in terms of what I should be doing. You know, it's a lot of, as some recent guests have put it, ready, fire, aim. Basically, shoot from the hip, shoot first, ask questions later, as I like to call it. And, you know, that also brings up its own challenges, right? And so really the point is you just have to choose which challenge you want. You know, do you want the challenge of moving up through the corporate ladder, potentially having bosses and managers you don't agree with, but you get the stability of a paycheck, you know, have your benefits, your weekends are typically, depending on where you work, but for the most part are, you know, you can really shut off? Or do you want to be your own boss and, you know, not have to deal with, you know, taking demands or you know, potentially disagreeing with a manager or a boss, despite the fact that sometimes I disagree with my own self, but that's a story for another time. But then you also, you know, I easily work 12 to 15 hour days, could easily work 12 to 15 hour days. I have certainly worked on weekends, and, you know, the sort of the the reasoning behind that is that it's very challenging now, but ultimately what you're trying to set yourself up for is potentially smoother sailing, right? So rougher seas now, smoother sailing later, or, kind of a more defined approach when you kind of come up through a corporate world or, working for someone essentially. So really, today I just wanted to challenge you guys to look within and decide which hard you want, right? By no means is one better than the other. Certainly I'm biased. I think entrepreneurship is better, but it's certainly more challenging at times, right? We've reached a bit of a snafu on the self-storage deal we're working on. By no means is it, done and over with, but a challenge we did not see coming. So having to, kind of cross that hurdle, cross that bridge. And so, and very valuable lessons learned, right? And I think no matter what, whichever you choose, if you make a mistake, to me, they're not really mistakes or regrets. It's really just a lesson that I learned, and now I know what not to do. So kind of short and sweet today. Just wanted to kind of throw that challenge out there to you guys. Some good news though, some good things I want to point to before we end here is a lot of economic data coming out. We're literally halfway through the year now, or more or less, right? Just hit June. And so a lot of economic data coming out about the commercial real estate world, and things are looking very promising. Certainly interest rates are rising, which is slowing things down in a sense, not as gung-ho, not as many. According to the data, transaction volume is not what it was a year ago this time. And for obvious reasons, right? But still very strong economic data, especially in your top markets are still very strong. People still moving there. So everything looks good is ultimately what I'm getting at, which is fantastic news. It's absolutely what you want to hear if you're in this industry, whether you're active or you're passive. So, if you're concerned with your stock portfolio or concerned with your crypto portfolio, reach out. There's a lot of education available. Happy to share my top. My favorite is Marcus and Millichap. They have a ton of free data. Go there. You can go to their website, download all of their reports. They have, the entire macro US as a whole. They have it broken down by market and even broken down by asset class in each market. There isn't every asset class for every market, understandably, right? But your top markets have most asset classes broken down, and things are looking very strong. And, of course, multifamily, industrial, even office is starting to come back, especially suburban office space, and of course, self-storage. So really awesome news there. We're very excited to see all of that. And thank you guys so much for listening. As always, please don't forget to download, like, subscribe, leave comments, reviews. Follow me on YouTube at Jonny Cattani. It's actually all related to the podcast right now, but I did it kind of personally because soon, like I mentioned in some earlier episodes, some more content will start coming your way that's a little bit more personal, just about me personally. And so, so follow on YouTube at Jonny Cattani. You can follow me personally on Instagram at Jonny Cattani, also on TikTok. And then you can also follow the Instagram page for the podcast at the IRR podcast. And we just launched Cattani Capital Group's Instagram as well. So you can follow at Cattani Capital Group. Have a great week. Wow. Words are challenging. English is a hard language. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Love you guys. You're amazing. And we will see you again next week. See ya. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. Listen, I know it's cliche and you hear it all the time, but please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video is coming out. Even though this is technically a daily podcast, you know it's coming out the next day. We have a ton of content coming your way. So please like and subscribe. It helps a ton. Leave comments. Would love to know what you guys think. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks so much.